What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's been a month since I've posted a video, and yes, I am still active. I am still doing things. I just ask that you guys continue to stay tuned into the channel, stay subscribed, sharing my videos and whatever that you feel like you need to do. But definitely just have some patience for the channel. There's a lot of things that I'm doing. The videos I'm making are a lot more intricate than I originally thought they were going to be, but they are actually pretty cool in the process of making a lot of different things. I know a lot of you guys are here for the SEAF versus clone troopers, or the SEAF versus the Galactic Army of the Republic. I'm still working on it. Please have patience for it. It is coming. The Galactic Conquest is coming. I'm just trying to put everything together, get all the information as I possibly can when it comes to the SEAF. Waiting for the updates for Helldivers 2 to see what all they're adding to the game, and trying to get as much information on the clone troopers and the Galactic Army of the Republic, like everything that comes with that. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of time investigating and just doing a lot of research when it comes to this stuff and gathering the best thing, and then on top of that, making the content as entertaining, as engaging, as I possibly can with the knowledge that I have for this channel. So like I said, I do appreciate you guys just being here on the channel. Thank all the new subscribers for subscribing. Haven't been posting shorts that often, but yeah, it is what it is. This video is going to be the first part of Battlefield 6 Conquest mode versus COD Warzone mode. All right, I know some of you guys don't really like the matchup. I don't like it as much as I did in the beginning, just kind of analyzing a little bit, but it is what it is. I already started the video and I got to finish what I started. So this is the first part of what the likely course that would happen if they were to get into a match. Like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's taking me a long time, and part 2 is going to be coming very soon. I'm almost done with part 2. So yeah, just stay tuned for this, the next part of the video, and stay tuned for all the other things I'm doing on the channel. If you're still looking forward to the Anthem versus Titanfall 2 thing, stay tuned for that. I'm still making videos on that. But like I said, guys, a lot of research is going into this. I'm also implementing AI when it comes to certain videos and certain information gathering. I'm also relying on the comments in the comment section of videos, helping me to gather more information on these things, because I am a big fan of some of these things, but I don't know everything about them. So you guys let me know down in the comment sections about what I'm missing out on, what I don't have up there is really insightful, and it helps me gather more information for the video. So when you guys are watching the video, you're not like screaming at the TV or whatever, or your phone, like, man, he's missing this, what about this, what about this? Of course, I'm not going to get every little thing about each different factions, but I'm going to try to do the best I can to get the most information and get it up there and talk about it while in the middle of the video. But yeah, like I said, enjoy part 1 of the likely course of the battle between Call of Duty Warzone mode versus Battlefield 6's Conquest mode, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
I still remembered the sound of the engines. Hundreds of us had stood inside the cargo hold of a C-17 Globemaster as it carried us toward the largest battlefield we had ever seen. The red deployment lights illuminated our weapons, harnesses, parachutes, and nervous faces. Below us was a massive combat zone formed from sections of Verdansk, Urzikstan, Rebirth Island, Al-Mazrah, and Battlefield 6 Fort Linden. For many of us, parts of the map were familiar. We recognized the buildings, roads, rooftops, bunkers, waterways, and industrial zones. We believed that knowledge would give us an advantage, but this battlefield was different. Almost everything could be destroyed. Buildings could collapse, Walls could be blown apart, cover could disappear without warning, roads could become blocked by rubble, and familiar defensive positions could be opened by tanks, aircraft, and explosives. While we waited in the aircraft, the battlefield forces were already spawning inside headquarters positioned across the map. They did not have to search for weapons. They entered the battle with their customized rifles, machine guns, sniper rifles, explosives, class equipment, and military vehicles already available. Tanks were rolling out of their bases before we had even jumped. Helicopters were preparing to take flight. Jets were moving toward their runways. Armored transports were being loaded with infantry. We had none of that. Every Warzone operator entered the battle with a pistol. The objective was complete map domination. We had to capture strategic positions, eliminate enemy troops, and control more of the battlefield by the end of the 2-hour match. The deployment light turned green, the rear ramp opened, then we jumped. The sky filled with parachutes, hundreds of Warzone operators separated in every direction. Each squad attempting to choose the best possible landing location. We had to make that decision carefully. Landing too far away from the action could give us time to loot, but it could also allow battlefield troops to capture more objectives. Landing too close to their headquarters could put us into combat before we had acquired proper weapons. Our first priorities were weapons, armor plates, gadgets, ammunition, contracts, and cash. We needed loadouts. We needed killstreaks. Most importantly, we needed time. Some operators did not care about any of that. The kill-hungry players aimed directly for the enemy headquarters. They wanted immediate action. They dropped behind battlefield lines, pulled out their pistols, and attacked soldiers who were already carrying assault rifles, light machine guns, sniper rifles, launchers, and explosives. A few of those operators caught the enemy by surprise. They eliminated soldiers, attacked vehicle crews, and temporarily disrupted the deployment of several battlefield squads. Where enough Warzone operators landed near an enemy headquarters, they slowed the opening battlefield advance. But most of them did not survive. A pistol was not enough against an organized military force. The early attack caused confusion, but it did not stop the enemy. During the first 5 minutes, Battlefield held the advantage. Their infantry immediately moved toward the objectives closest to their headquarters. Armored vehicles transported entire squads across the map, while tanks took positions along major roads. We were still opening supply boxes. My squad entered a partially abandoned building near one of the outer objectives. We searched every room we could find. One operator found a submachine gun. Another found armor plates and ammunition. I found an assault rifle with only a few magazines. It was not our preferred equipment, but it was better than the pistol I had carried out of the aircraft. Across the map, other Warzone squads completed contracts and collected cash. Some moved toward buy stations. Others searched for enough equipment to attack isolated objectives. The battlefield troops did not give us time to prepare. They began a full-scale assault almost immediately. Their soldiers pushed outward from their headquarters in organized formations. Infantry squads moved behind armored vehicles while helicopters flew overhead. Every minute we spent looting allowed them to capture more territory. We knew the map. They had the firepower. By the 10th minute, Battlefield had captured most of the objectives closest to its headquarters. Their early control zones had become staging areas for the next phase of the assault. Our squads had managed to capture several objectives farther away from the battlefield spawn points. Because we had entered from the sky, we had been able to land behind the areas their ground forces had not yet reached. For a brief period, the map had been divided. Battlefield controlled the areas surrounding its headquarters. We controlled several distant and isolated positions. Then the factions made full contact. The fighting escalated almost immediately. Our operators were faster during infantry engagements. We moved through windows, slid through doorways, climbed rooftops, and changed positions before the battlefield soldiers could surround us. But their ground vehicles repeatedly overran us. An infantry squad could win a gunfight and still be destroyed seconds later by a tank. We ambushed groups of soldiers, only for armored transports to arrive with reinforcements. battlefield troops took a slight lead in both objectives and kills. We continued looting, completing contracts, purchasing equipment, and calling in loadout drops. We were slowly becoming more dangerous, but the enemy had already gained momentum. At the 20-minute mark, the airspace became crowded. Battlefield helicopters flew over the cities while fighter jets crossed above them at high speed. Our UAVs began appearing throughout the map, revealing enemy movement and helping our squads identify approaching vehicles. Counter-EAVs disrupted communications and interfered with radar. We called in our first major airstrikes against enemy positions. For a moment, it appeared that we could contest the airspace without fielding our own permanent air force. Then the battlefield jets began hunting our UAVs. One by one, our reconnaissance systems disappeared from the sky. The jets also targeted infantry moving between objectives. Operators were struck while crossing roads, climbing rooftops, and gathering nearby stations. On the ground, however, the battle was beginning to change. More of us had acquired our loadouts. The random weapons we had found during the opening minutes were being replaced by the rifles, optics, attachments, perks, and equipment we understood best. We were no longer fighting with pistols. The battlefield infantry noticed the difference immediately. Our operators began winning more one-on-one engagements. We moved faster, reacted more aggressively, and survived more damage because of our armor plates. The enemy's early kill advantage began shrinking. Our knowledge of the map continued helping us. We knew which buildings connected to nearby rooftops. We understood where to find underground routes, stairwells, ladders, and hidden entrances. But Battlefield's destruction system changed everything. A building we had defended for several minutes suddenly lost an entire wall when a tank fired into it. A rooftop position collapsed under explosives. A hallway we believed was protected became exposed when a helicopter destroyed the side of the structure. We had memorized the map as it had once existed. The battlefield forces were changing it around us. Every explosion created a new line of sight. Every collapsed wall produced another entry point. We were forced to adapt while fighting. Even with that disruption, our infantry kills increased. By the end of the first 30 minutes, our kill total had nearly reached Battlefield's. Battlefield controlled the sky and the heavy vehicles. We controlled many of the infantry engagements. Their jets and helicopters dominated the airspace. Their tanks, mines, armored transports, launchers, and heavy weapons overwhelmed 30 minutes into the battle. Control had divided into two distinct categories. Most of the vehicles available to us, whenever we attempted to use lighter vehicles, battlefield tanks destroyed them. Whenever we crossed open roads, helicopters attacked us. Whenever several squads gathered in one location, enemy explosives forced us apart. We had to change our strategy. Separate Warzone squads began communicating through proximity chat. Operators who normally would have competed for kills began sharing information. Tank approaching from the east, helicopter above the objective, engineers moving through the destroyed building, sniper on the tower. Our loadouts changed as well. Players replaced secondary weapons with rocket launchers. C4 charges were planted along vehicle routes. Mines were hidden near objectives. Grenades were thrown beneath armored vehicles. Cluster strikes and bunker busters were called against tanks and infantry formations. Instead of challenging battlefield armor directly, we began surrounding it. One squad distracted the vehicle. Another attacked from a rooftop. A third approached from behind with explosives. It was messy, but it worked. The battlefield soldiers recognized that they were losing more direct infantry fights. They adapted quickly. More recon players entered the battle with sniper rifles. Instead of challenging us inside buildings, they attacked from hills, rooftops, towers, and distant structures. Engineers focused on our armor plates, killstreaks, vehicles, and equipment. Their explosives were especially effective at breaking our armor before infantry squads pushed forward. Support players became the foundation of their advance. They distributed ammunition, restored health, and revived fallen soldiers almost instantly. That became one of our greatest problems. We could win an engagement down several battlefield soldiers and still fail to remove them from the fight. If we could not reach them quickly enough, a support player revived the entire group. Battlefield troops returned to combat faster than we could eliminate them. The enemy also began using more explosives against us. Grenades, rockets, mines, tank shells, and demolition charges damaged our armor before the infantry firefight had even started. They were learning how to fight us. By the 40th minute, both factions understood the strengths of the other. The map had become uneven. Some areas were almost silent. Others were filled with constant gunfire, collapsing structures, airstrikes, vehicle explosions, and screaming soldiers. Many buildings had suffered moderate damage. Walls were missing, windows had been destroyed, and abandoned vehicles blocked the streets. We had taken the lead in kills. Our speed, movement, gun skill, and armor plates continued giving us the advantage in direct infantry combat. Several Warzone squads combined their strength around important objectives. We used MAPs as mobile cover and positioned them near entrances and roadways. Separate squads defended different levels of the same buildings. When tanks approached, we called in airstrikes and bunker busters. When battlefield infantry advanced without vehicle support, we destroyed them. Their soldiers discovered that infantry alone could not capture our strongest positions. Some battlefield squads stopped attacking those locations. They retreated to easier objectives closer to their existing territory. Instead of sacrificing more soldiers, they focused on building stronger map control. That decision kept them behind in kills, but it placed them ahead in territory.